Welcome to another episode of SBB Live. My name is Kelly Wayne, and I am your host and Director of Sales here at Seniors Blue Book. Today, my guest is Mike Levine from Home Instead of South Sarasota County, and we are looking forward to sharing some really wonderful information with our viewers today. So thank you so much for joining us. But before we begin, I always like to remind our viewers just a couple of things. We always like to know where people are watching from. So if you can, let us know what city that you are watching from. And also don't be afraid to write comments in the chat. You're welcome to do that, and we'll make sure that we get them answered for you. All right, Mike, so before we begin and talk about the business, because I know that's what we're here for, is to give our viewers a background about who you are and what your business is all about. I always like to ask our guests who come on, what their why is. Like, why did you get into the industry? Why don't you start with that? I think our viewers would like to hear that.
That's a great question, Kelly, because it helps to be passionate when you're in this industry. And many years ago, I was taking care of my own mother as she battled leukemia and stage 4 cancer. Mm-hmm. And until you get in the situation of taking care of a loved one or family or friends, you don't really know the resources that are out there for you. And quite frankly, at that time, I was kind of disappointed that people were about putting bodies in spaces and not showing up. And after that, I decided, I'd been in a lot of different types of businesses, that not only was this business something that I could help seniors, but help their loved ones, help their families, and do something that really was rewarding at the end of the day. You really felt good about it.
Yeah, and I think that ultimately, if we feel good about what we do, then we do a great job. So that's important. So I want to hear about your business. It's in particular, for those people who don't know what you do, tell us a little bit about your business in terms of your model, your philosophy, however you want to describe it.
Sure.
And then we'll talk a little bit about maybe some of your differentiators.
Sure. Home Instead is an international brand. They're worldwide, which they've been around for 25, 26 years. I've been in, but each territory is individually owned and operated. Mm-hmm. And I have this South Sarasota County area with my offices based in Venice. But what really separates Home Instead in the senior care market is everybody that we serve, seniors we service, which may be, as little as 12 hours a week to 24/7 care. We help with that non-medical side. Anything from errands and shopping and companionship up to personal care and, transferring and needs, bathing needs, things like that. And what a lot of people don't realize, that when you get done with the task every day, a lot of it really does make a difference when you deal with, senior depression, companionship, loneliness, and in a lot of cases being away from family. But what I like about Home Instead, the differentiator, is all of our employees are employees. They're not independent contractors. I take very, very good care of my caregivers, because without those wonderful, passionate, big-hearted, loving caregivers who come in all shapes, sizes, sex, whatever, they have the biggest hearts, and we train them. We have our own training center here. And a lot of differences is that a lot of times they're independent contractors or individuals doing home health care. I feel like having the support where we're doing all the work, the background checks, drug-free workplace, driver's checks, training, but also, if your caregiver wakes up today and they're running a fever, we're going to have somebody there. We're going to back it up. You always know that we're going to provide the care that we promised, and we answer the phone 24/7. So if a need comes up and you need to expand hours, something happens, we're gonna jump into that.
Excellent. And I think accountability is huge. That's something, especially in senior healthcare, especially when loved ones aren't always here. Do you find that there are a lot of your clients don't have families? The adult child, for instance, is not here, or do you think it's a split?
It is a split, and the interesting part, of course, is not only you have the split where the child, the family's out in Chicago or New York or LA, or I've had family as far away as Guam. And thank goodness for technology, because we can FaceTime them and communicate, and we have a portal for the family to see care notes and what's happening. But a lot of those families we help could be a spouse who's really just overtired and, taking care of their loved one, or it could be a family member that's down here, but it's also working full time, taking care of mom, taking care of kids, having to get to work on time. So it is a split, but the common denominator is there's usually a family caregiver who just needs that support and backing. It's as much about giving them relief as it is doing the service, helping that family caregiver, because so many times that family caregiver falls by the wayside, gets sick, breaks down physically, mentally, if they don't get some respite time.
Sure. Do you find that people have a hard time knowing when they need the help?
Yes, including myself as being in that situation. But when you talk about the seniors we serve and being that greatest generation, this is what I signed up for. By golly, even though I've never done a load of laundry in my life or cooked a meal, I'm taking care of my wife. And it's like, yeah, but if we don't take care of you, who's going to take care of her?
Yeah.
You got to have that breath. So yes, that is really hard. And we're always, they're thinking, why I can do this. And it's like, you're going down with the ship. You gotta get some help.
Right. Well, and again, meeting them where they are and where they're comfortable is important. So I always think it's great when, a company like yours is accountable to bringing the same people in, and, people, especially if you have, an adult child that doesn't live nearby, they feel trusted that they've brought you in and they know you're going to be there.
Absolutely.
That's really important. Accountability is great. I think it's great that you have your portal, your 24/7 portal. You want to touch on that for a second? I would love for.
Yeah. So not only can you touch into care notes and things that are going on, see which caregivers were there. The caregivers can even leave a recorded message like,
oh, wow.
Hey, we went out to the jetty today. We planted flowers in the garden. It doesn't always have to be something negative. It can be positive things. Most family members, they want their loved one to be out there enjoying life. That's why they moved to Florida in the first place.
That's true.
So a lot of times caregivers get pretty good gigs. They're going out on golfing outings. They're going out to restaurants. They're going to the beach. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Well, they're bringing a lot of joy to.
Absolutely.
And that's really ultimately just like your why. I'm sure your caregivers have very similar whys. I mean, to add value to someone's life is great. So very good. Well, I love all of this, and I look forward to learning more about your business as well. And I know our viewers will love to learn more. Tell us, what is the best way? We're going to actually tag your business in this posting so people will know how to reach you on social media. What are the best ways for people to find you? Obviously, you're in the Seniors Blue Book, and they can find that as well.
Blue Book, my goodness, we've been there for many years. And you can call our office, 941-375-8400. Or you can go on our website, homeinstead.com. /729 or email me, mike.levine@homeinstead.com. Many love to answer questions, because my role is to be not only provide service, but provide information, be a resource. We may not be the right fit. If somebody is not safe to themselves or to others, maybe they need to go in a facility. It's a very hard decision, but so many times with just a little bit of help, seniors can live fulfilling lives and be safe and stay where they want to stay, in their house. I mean, that's kind of why we're called Home Instead.
Yeah. And I think it's, like you said, you're giving people options and really ultimately looking at what is the safest option for them. So inviting people to have the conversation, like you said, even if it's not the best thing for them, certainly is a welcoming a welcoming approach. And I think people would appreciate that. So thank you for offering the information, and thank you for taking some time to chat with us today. If you have any questions for Mike, you can certainly reach him. You can find him in the Seniors Blue Book, and you can also find him online, or just simply click the link above in the description and you can get right to his contact information as well. Mike, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for being a partner of Seniors Blue Book.
Thanks, Kelly.